And we are live on Facebook. This is Carne. And back in the old days, back in, say, January or February, I would take my car, my Mazda 3, to different locations. I'd meet my guests at different restaurants, taverns, and whatever. We'd bring food into the car. We'd do an interview as we ate. That obviously hasn't been able to happen for a while. So for now, it's Quarantine Con Carne, and it is sponsored by C&H Financial Services. Freeprocessingnow.com is their web address, so you can start saving money. You, business owners, can start saving money to the tune of not having to pay on credit and debit cards, 0%. So freeprocessingnow.com, C&H Financial Services. I also want to mention, before I introduce Emily Blue, who's sitting by so patiently, there is a new Care Con Carne t-shirt. It is as timely as the headlines and the lives we are living. All profits from the sale of this shirt design go to Hope for the Day. That is for this week. All profits go to Hope for the Day, a very laudable, wonderful charity, something I've done a couple shows with since this whole sheltering in place thing started. If you're looking for the t-shirt, it is in the new merch navigation of carconcarne.com. I understand times are tough. Money is tight. I appreciate that. But if you can, it's a handsome shirt, and it goes to a good cause. So, as mentioned right there, that is Emily Blue. Thank you so much for joining me from Sheltering at Home.
No problem. Hello.
Oh, that's a lovely, cozy blanket on the couch behind you.
Yeah, I had to make some sort of effort, and then those are all the pillows that I shoved to the side right before I logged on, so.
It's interesting. Different people approach COVID-19 and sheltering at home in different ways. On your Twitter recently-ish, you wrote, COVID-19 reminded me what art is for, which tells me that, unlike some people, you're being productive and creative during this very strange time. Is that accurate?
Someone reads my Twitter. This is the best news. I'm really, really bad at understanding Twitter and what exactly it's for, but this is an aside from your question, but I feel like during COVID also, I've been kind of getting more personal with my social media. But yeah, anyway, it's definitely reminded me that art is for my emotional needs because, I mean, that's what I started off doing art for, just for fun and to kind of release whatever I was thinking about and deal with my problems through some healthy outlet, you know? And then obviously as you kind of gain an audience and gain some traction, you change into more of a business mindset, you know what I mean? Right. And that can be, when you're doing most of it yourself, it can be really exhausting. And so the entire world being forced to come to a halt has made me just have all this time, and my thoughts have to go somewhere, and I have to cry, and I have to like vent somehow. So I definitely have enjoyed my process for the first time in a while, like just having fun alone, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. And I think we all have those ups and downs. I reached a point this weekend where I'm like, fuck, I'm out. I'm done. I can't. This is just too much. But then the next day I'm like, okay, here we go. Let's do it. Let's roll up our sleeves. This is the world we're living in. But it does have that kind of, yeah, there you go. There's that roller coaster vibe to it. As we were talking right now, we're recording this on Monday, the 11th. You just recently, as of last Friday, put out Aperture, which, you know, I first heard it yesterday. And the weather outside, as you may recall, it was just a dreary day. It was gray, it was dark, it was rainy, and wow, that song really sonically lined up with the day beautifully.
Thank you. Yeah, it definitely has that kind of hazy, emotional pull to it. I think it fits my mood for the times, especially. But yeah, for the weather, I can see that.
I hate to use the word ethereal, but there's definitely an ethereal sense to the song, or vibe to the song.
Yeah, my mom said the same thing today. She called me and she's like, Joey's so ethereal. She doesn't talk like that. I don't know why I imitated her.
She's not from New Jersey?
She's from New York, but not at all. She's just born there. Whatever. No accent is what I'm trying to say. No New York accent is present.
I want to thank John and Nino and Katie and Stephanie and Justina and Giorgio and Phil and Pat for all watching right now. They have nowhere else to be, and they have nowhere else to be, and I appreciate that. But I do thank them for being here. But yeah, Aperture is a great song, and that is available wherever you find streaming music. I listen on Bandcamp, and I'm assuming it's on all the platforms.
Yeah, should be.
Let's talk a little bit about you and your your sense of visual aesthetic, your style, because you have this really cool kind of modern retro thing going on in your videos, in real life. How important is that visual aesthetic to what you do as an artist?
I kind of view them as hand in hand because I'm a really visual person. And when I was younger, well, my dad's a visual artist. So when I was younger, I was learning to draw and kind of combine colors. And he actually collects like old toys and old phones and all of
Can
these.
I hang out with your dad?
Yeah, please do. I mean, you can't right now, but eventually,
Yeah.
yes. He has such an eye for these bright combinations of colors, and his favorite decade, I'm sure, is the 60s. So if you can imagine being around all of that media just all the time as a young person. So I think I also kind of view it as a way to express my individuality because I grew up like in bands. I would be in bands in my college and high school years and never really kind of broke out of that until, this project, honestly. So I try to take my thoughts in a couple different directions. And certainly fun, but sometimes, there's too many options. So you're like, what do I want to look like for this song?
Right. Well, and you have a direct hand in the videos that you put out. The look of them is fantastic. I really, really love the Bad Decisions video.
Thank you. That was a difficult and extremely educational process to put
Explain.
all that. Well, it's definitely like a higher production value than some of my other stuff. There was like a crew of maybe 10 to 20 people on that. And I was directing, and I'm, sort of in the beginning stages of being a visual director. So I got to have all these resources at hand, and then I had to learn how to organize all that. So it was fun and informative and very chaotic. We crowded room of people, that's for sure.
The toaster hovering over the bathtub is a favorite of mine.
That's my favorite too. That's actually my favorite.
So a bit ago, you had Star 69. And since then, we've had Bad Decisions. We've had 17. 17, they're like these big classic rock guitars crashing in on that. Yes, I mean, there's a nice balance of sounds and styles and eras all wrapped up in that one particular song. Tell me about 17.
Well, I love the band Heart. I love the song Alone, so I like the unapologetic nature of a lot of the singers in that era because it's very exaggerated and showy, and it's all about the pipes, and sometimes I get a little bit tired of what is trending in indie pop right now, which is very like soft, airy, sexy. There's like people make fun of it. It's like the indie baby voice is what it's called. It's like, So I just wanted to do the exact opposite of that for my own sort of joy as a singer. I am at my core, like I just love to sing all the time, annoyingly to my roommates, sorry, but so that one was definitely kind of all right, let's belt for almost all of this.
It's awesome.
Thank you so much.
So with Aperture, is this kind of the model moving forward? I mean, it seems to be this a la carte way of releasing songs as opposed to proper EPs or albums.
It's a really interesting question. I've been thinking so much about that today, yesterday, all month. Because, yeah, you do have this industry changing that's more, fast-paced consumption. People are just like, give me another thing to look at. Instagram. And then I am kind of old-fashioned in that I like albums more. But I'm not doing that. So I'm thinking that while we're stuck in this quarantine situation, I do want to put out content that I'm proud of and kind of give little blips here and there. But I would like to have a project that's like, here's my, my novel, read about my experiences. So I'm definitely working towards something on the larger scale, but it's just tough right now to make that all come to fruition. It's just like everything, like I said, it's kind of come to a pause. So, I think there's value to both methods.
For sure. Going back to videos, let's talk a little bit about Microscope. This video is it's a mix of sexual and sensual. There's the Botox thing going on in there. Tell me about storyboarding that one.
Oh my gosh, this was my favorite, I think, to make in many ways. Because my friend Max, who produced that song, and my other friend Ryan, we would just meet up at the Golden Nugget at like 3 a.m.
I love the Golden Nugget.
I love the Golden Nugget, especially for those spontaneous hangs that you just want to talk for long periods of time. It's perfect.
There's something about a diner, like just diner food, where you can get like a Monte Cristo or a patty melt, those classic sandwiches that like our grandparents and great grandparents used to eat for dinner. I love that stuff. Sorry,
It feels really nostalgic to just be in the booth, you know?
Absolutely.
So anyway, we'd go there and just shout out crazy ideas. I believe at one point Max was like, what if at the end we had like CGI tigers and you were spinning a basketball? And I was like, okay, now we might be a little bit out of out of this. Let's pull it back just a little bit. But yeah, I'm happy with the way that came together because of all of our different tastes. And I'm definitely a fan of like exploring like kink and BDSM, but I'm also super feminine as a person. So putting the pink neon together with like strobe lights, I was just so thrilled. It's like that's what it should be.
So moving forward, we have the new song again, Aperture. It's available wherever you stream music. There's more on the way, and you're being a little coy about what form that might take, but we can expect more from Emily Blue in 2020, I guess, is the lesson here.
Yes, lots of stuff in the works, and I think that I want to try something new, which is make more music than I feel I will put out. Usually I will be like, I'm working towards this, and then I'll put it out in March, and then I'll do this. But right now I'm like, demo after demo, make a giant folder, kind of like the Michael Jackson technique of write 300 songs and then bring it down to 8. So that's what I'm thinking for the next stuff.
I do want to thank some more people who've joined us. Gallerina, Jillian, John, Adam, Jessica, Zach, Mike, Eric, Molly Jean. Chancho says Star 69 still gets regular play in my car. Looking forward to some more new music.
Oh, that's awesome.
Look at that. We just need to have more opportunities for Chancho to drive in the present day.
That's
so we can
true.
keep listening to that. Yeah. All right. So Emily Blue, your website is?
My website is emilybluemusic.com.
Fabulous. I'm going to say goodbye to the Facebook Live. Thank you all for watching, and thank you if you're listening to carquincarne.com. We're going to make the stream go away.